So it's a little messy, don't judge us. My wife would be mad if I let y'all in here. This is the little barn house. So it's got a little kitchen here, man, and of course, I went and bought a table from Walmart and some chairs, and my wife saw that, and that lasted all of about 5 seconds. You'll see all the doors in this place are steel, and they all have these peep sights. The guy that built this place originally, we'll just say he was an interesting dude. How about that? He was really private and really cautious. We can go upstairs here, and everything here, if you see a building here, it's all built out of concrete, rebar, and steel, even the ceiling. I'd say he probably started building in the late 90s to early 2000s. He had all the air conditioners and handlers and all that put in the building and upstairs, so nobody can cut the power to it, and nobody can cut your air off, and all that. So my wife happened here too, but we hadn't really got to dig in and decorate anything yet. This was to make it livable and so we could come out here and stay. Full bath in the garage, full bath up here. Say if I bring riders into town, I can have one set up at home and then have a group right in here too. Plenty of places for everybody to sleep. A couple of years back, I sold it in 2020, but for about 9 years, we bought 433 acres at a 433 acre farm in Alabama, and we built it for disabled kids and vets to come hunt. A lot of these you see that have crazy horns and stuff were stuff that we were breeding and that kind of thing. This was my first bike ever. Me and my dad bought, or my first Harley ever. My dad and I bought it together. It was like right after I graduated high school, and I've had it ever since like 2003. It's a mean machine, man. When I bought it had a hot rod motor on it. It had like a big old notch cut out of the crank pin. We got it fixed. We just put a 80 Evo in it, so it's kind of a back to bone stock now, but got more memories on it that make it worth keeping. I won't ever get rid of it. We run pyro and stuff during the show. We shoot fire and all that stuff, so we had to drain all the oil and gas out of it. When we put it on this is a lift. So the edge of the stage would come out to right here, and I would crawl out from under the stage, get on this platform, get on the bike, and it would raise up. And that's how the show would start. One thing about this funny is I'll get out, you get where you go, and you can take a nap on this one. You put your helmet on the handlebars right there, crash out. Yeah, this Chucker's had some miles put on it. So when we bought the farm, had 2 John Deeres on it, had a bunch of hours on them, and they were kind of rode hard and put up wet, to say the least. So we actually started working with this company called C&B. They're the largest John Deere dealership in the world. They're incredibly good people. I met them through my manager. They got us the tractors we needed. This is the little guy, it's a 440R. This thing runs like a top, man. I could literally sit you down and you'd be driving around the farm with no trouble in like 10 minutes. And then this is the big boy, 620R. Big old John Deere, real tractors are green. This Jugger's really cool. It's got like GPS on it, so a lot of these fields we can go out and plot a path for it, and it'll literally almost like a Tesla. The thing will damn near drive itself. And you can sit in that thing and drive all day and your butt won't even hurt. It drags this big cultipacker, this big green one, and you can put fertilizer, large seed and small seed in at the same time. You hook it to the back of it, you set that thing on the ground, and as it rolls, digs a hole, drops seed down in it, and then covers it up and then compacts it all at the same time. It is a beast. And it's got a little side chair in there so the kids can come in and sit. Kobe will bring his daughter out, and my kids love to get up in it. They'll ride it around in that thing all day long. It still smells new in here, man, but this is what I love. The kids can get up here and ride around. But yeah, I love this thing, man. The technology in it is a little over my head, but I know how to go front ways and back ways and work the bucket. You can tell at first look that it's basically indestructible. You ain't shooting an RPG through this thing. The entire thing is built out of commercial styrofoam, right? And this is supposed to be some of the best insulation, soundproofing stuff made. The whole freaking house is concrete. There's rebar and steel in here. The guy that originally was building this house, I won't say his name. I won't say too much about what I know for fact. I'll say that there's some legends, so to speak. There were rumors around here forever, you know, that he was involved in this, that, and the other. I don't know. It's not hard to say, though, walking around, that he was different. You know, there's something going on. He actually died in the middle of building this. So all this you see out here was to be an addition. So he got halfway through building it and decided he wanted to go bigger. So this was supposed to be dining room, living room, master bedroom, 2 guest rooms, a big bonus room, and an outdoor thing above it. It went up to 3 stories at one point all the way at the end, just to finish the original floor plan of what's above ground. If I told y'all what that figure was, You wouldn't believe it, because it don't look like much till you walk in here. And everybody I've told that we're tearing it down just kind of grimaces and gives us this kind of guilt trip, like, you can't tear that down. Well, yeah, you can, because if you knew what it was going to cost to finish it, you'd tear it down too. But it is absolutely gorgeous, man. There's nothing about it conventional, the way it's laid out. This is pretty neat. So there were 4 homesteads built on the original farm. King of England, sometime in the mid-1700s, he gave the Rogers family like a large part of the county. The original homestead was built right here. Actually, if you lay it out for houses back then, it was giant. Originally, so all this was kitchen, and then there's a little bitty sitting area right here. That up there was a library, and then there's a bedroom up there. This is, oh, when you walk on these little piles of stuff and it cracks, if you look really close, this is pretty neat. There's an albino owl that lives in here. So that's all bones. You see how much of a stone cold killer an owl is. You find like little mouse skulls and stuff. And we're on the 2nd floor now and the ceiling's still super high, you know. Every time I walk in here, I hate myself for tearing it down, but it's like, what do you do? It's not gonna be a short process and it's not gonna be a cheap one, but we've gotta do what makes sense, man.